So one of the most important and difficult aspects of learning any new skill is to be able to stay motivated throughout the whole process. So today we are going to introduce 5 tips that can help you maintain your motivation on a healthy level. Hello world, welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Igor. I'm a software engineer based in Portugal, and on this channel we do coding related stuff like tutorials, challenges, and other related content like the topic of this video. Today we're going to discuss 5 ways that can help you find the motivation that you need to keep going on your learning journey, especially when you're feeling stuck and or frustrating taking those first steps into coding. Now we've all been there. You're trying to learn some new skill and you pour your heart and soul into the task, only to eventually hit what feels like an enormous roadblock that mentally drains you, down to the point where your motivation levels hit rock bottom and you just feel like quitting. Learning something new is challenging by itself, and coding is absolutely no exception. If you're having a hard time staying motivated while you're trying to learn to code, just know that you're not alone. It's a very common problem within the community. In the end, motivation can only come from within, but a few tips can help you sway the scale in the right direction and help you achieve your dream of making it into the development industry. So let's start with the tips. Tip number 1. Practice what you have learned. You may just be moving too quickly through the lessons and all the tutorials that you're taking and not actually dedicating enough time to apply those concepts and getting your hands dirty by building something. Spending time with a new concept is extremely important so that you can retain what you've learned and actually apply it as you move along to more advanced concepts. The exact same happens when you're trying learning a new language. At the moment, I'm actually trying to learn Swedish, and although it's a repetitive task, I go over the basics regularly, as they will lay the foundation for me to eventually be fluent in the language somewhere around the future. So remember, practice makes fluent. Tip number 2. Don't forget what you've already accomplished. When you get stuck learning a new concept or it gets just too intense that it eventually overwhelms you, it can also be frustrating and your mind starts wandering and thinking about the long road that you still have ahead. Now, if this happens, just remind yourself of how far you've come. Take a look at what you've already built along this journey and all the challenges that you've already overcome. Try to look at it from a standpoint of look at how far I've come instead of look at how far I still have to go. Now that's demoralizing, right? Tip number 3. Keep your eye on the prize. Now this one may sound like a given, but you'd be surprised with the number of people that lose track of their goals and can never get them back. On those dark days of having no appetite for learning, just take a step back, take a deep breath, and try to remind yourself of the goal you had when you first decided to embark on this long journey. What motivated you back then? And if you have not yet established a goal, now it's just the time about right to get one and stick with it. Tip number 4. Baby steps consistently. Now initially it might actually seem right to you to spend the most amount of time possible learning how to code, but too long of a session or a group of sessions can actually hurt you in the long run. You might start to get frustrated by not being able to make time during the day to take a lesson or a tutorial, or actually even the other way around can also happen, where you might feel that the learning process is taking away too much of your day and you start attributing a negative connotation to the whole process. Now, a good strategy is to set a timer for a small achievable goal that you know you can accomplish. Set it for like 10 minutes or 15 minutes or even half an hour. Set it for wherever feels right for you and achieve that small goal. Now then, if you feel that you're on a roll and today is your day, just extend your coding past the timer that you've set and finish your awesome new feature. If not, when the timer goes off, just call it a day and go rest because tomorrow it's a new day for learning. Tip number 5. Take breaks regularly. Most times, in most aspects of our life, if you're feeling stuck or overwhelmed, the easiest solution of all is take a break. Simple as that. Get your mind off the current task that you're doing and just dedicate your efforts to something else you enjoy. Try reading a book, listening to your favorite track or the latest episode of your favorite podcast, or go for a walk with your dogs. That's what I usually do. After a while, you just feel reinvigorated and with a killer mindset for problem solving, and that's perfect. And just like that, your task gets a lot easier, and your body and mind actually thank you for that resting time. And those were the 5 tips that you can and should follow the next time that you're feeling stuck or a bit overwhelmed by the learning process or the tasks in hand in order to find the motivation needed to plow through and towards your goals and dreams. So if there's one takeaway of all of this, is that you should always keep your eye on the prize. It is a long and difficult road to take, but it is doable and you're gonna get to the end of it. So I wish you all the best, and until the next time, happy coding.